certainly the reason I do it. I get asked a lot by people like, hey, what's next? Or, what's it like? You have all this money, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to sit here and brag, but, I have enough money to live for the rest of my life. And I want to tell all the people out there who are grinding and hustling to get cash. Yeah, you need it, but there really isn't that much to buy or do, right? I can give everyone watching this stream, let's say you all had half $1 billion, 500 million. You do a bunch of hedonistic bullshit. You'd get drunk a bunch, you fuck a bunch of girls, and you buy a bunch of cars, etc. And then you'd either completely fall into the hedonistic trap and go down the gambling and drugs route and destroy your life. But if you keep your brain on and you stay sane, you start to realize that the most valuable things are staying in good shape, your health, looking after yourself, the simple things, spending time with people you love, and hanging with your boys. Hanging with your boys is the number one most interesting activity that's ever going to exist on the planet ever. It's the funnest thing there is to possibly do, to sit around in the room with your guys and talk shit. And that's what you said earlier about we could be in Indiana, just sitting there
fucking it up.
We can end up broke in the Philippines with $25 in the bank, and we will laugh. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. It's all about the people who are around you. And there's something that's intrinsic to men. We definitely evolved with it. I think it's because we spent so much time either in groups out hunting or in armies or gangs or whatever we were doing. You just feel better when you're around people that you can trust with your life. And that's certainly the best thing about life. And yeah, I completely understand what you're saying, and I know what you guys are saying. But for me personally, the reason I stream is to try and find the other people out there who I might want to be friends with. Because when you're an exceptional individual, you're never going to meet friends in normal life. It's very rare. I don't know about you guys. I go through life and just meet a friend. Everyone I meet's a fucking idiot. It's crazy, right? So the internet, the best thing that's done for me is allow me to broadcast my message to people and find the other people out there with a fucking brain. And it's not that many. But yeah, hanging with your boys is certainly the best thing about life. To this day, with all the money and the shit I can do, that I would rather be sitting in the war room with Tristan and Luke calling each other names than doing nearly anything else. It's the best thing there is to do.
Before Myron answers, can I ask you the question I asked you yesterday?
Sure.
How much do you do this now for money, and how much do you really care about waking people up?
Okay, so I don't need money anymore. Money to me truly has no value. And I say that, and people don't believe me because they understand that every rich person is trying to get more money because it's a game. Yeah, it's like getting a high score. But for me, truly, if someone were to walk in this room and put $25 million cash on this table, I have nothing to buy and my life would change zero. It doesn't mean anything. I don't need it, right? I like the fact that I can do what I do, and I like the idea of being able to do it forever. But this is not financially motivated for me. It is about expanding my influence. It is about expanding my network. It is about expanding my capabilities. It is about finding the other people out there who think the way I think. It is about having them in an environment where we can speak freely and openly. So to a degree, it's certainly about advancing the mission. I feel like I have a duty to God to speak the truth because I'm in a unique position where I can speak the truth and many can't. I like the idea that I get thousands and thousands of messages from people saying I've helped them with their mental health and helped them with the depression, etc. I like being a positive impact on the world. I like going to sleep with a pure heart and knowing that I'm good for the planet. But truthfully, I think everything you do, no matter what it is, has a selfish motivation. Even if you go and give money to charity today, you're doing it so you feel good. That's why you're doing it. Everything is selfishly motivated. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a philanthropist. I feel good when I help people. That's why I do it. It's not just about helping them. It's also because of how I feel. And also when I meet interesting people and I get good friends and powerful individuals join the war room, for example, that benefits me massively. Now my network's expanded. So it's certainly selfishly motivated, but it's not money. And yeah, I think there's inside of every single man, there's definitely a rebel. There's definitely a warrior. It doesn't matter if you were a punk rock rebel in the 70s or you were one of the rebels of Rome who just said, fuck this, let's go burn it. There's something inside of you that's a bit of a rebel. And if you're a red-blooded male and you see the world we live in today and how the Matrix is suppressing us all, you want to rebel. And I think part of it is, yeah, certainly I feel good knowing I'm doing my little bit to piss them off. In fact, I'm not doing a little bit. I've done a lot. I've done too much. But yeah, that's the answer to the question.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know if you want me to say this on stream, but beforehand, I wasn't supposed to be on this. And I'm wondering how much of that was testing, initiating, and how much of that was the rebel inside of you thinking, fuck it, man, bring him on.
Yeah, let me give you a very quick example. During the height of, for fuck's sake, the subject we're not supposed to talk about. We weren't supposed to leave our houses, right? So, and we weren't supposed to go driving. We weren't allowed to go out the house and drive. Even here in Romania, you couldn't drive without a piece of paper, a specific piece of paper. And every morning I woke up and just start burning around the city in the Porsche. And Tristan used to go to me, and I used to come back with all these fucking papers, and they tried to impound the car. Cops used to come to the gate, and I just get a different car and go out again next day. And Tristan goes, "Why do you keep doing this? It's just headache." I said, I can't just do what I'm supposed to do. They told me what to do, and I can't just do it. I have to not do it, because then when all this insanity goes down and some fucking poor matrix slave misses the funeral of his own fucking parent because he's a dumbass and believes it all, I can know that I tried my best, even though he's an idiot, even though he's a moron, I tried my best to resist the enslavement. It's like living with a pure heart. It's a real thing. Like, all this shit went down, and I can say here now with a pure heart on this stream that I resisted more than 99.9% of people on the planet. I got arrested in Germany. I got fines every day. I broke every single rule. I broke every single law. I had a birthday party in the height of COVID that was all over fucking YouTube. We had fucking 100 people in a hotel. I bribed the mayor off. Like, I did anything it took to break the rules. And that made me feel good about myself. So, yeah, was it really to wake people up and help them to stop them being slaves? Or was it because I had a selfish motivation and I felt good inside of myself knowing I'm not a dumbass? I think we're all semi-selfishly motivated if you're honest.
100%. Myron?
So for me, I'm going to be painfully honest about this, I guess. Before, when I started streaming, as you guys know, I used to work in law enforcement for DHS. I did criminal investigations. And for me, I got a great sense of satisfaction from doing those cases and, doing that job. But then I started my fitness business, and then from there started the YouTube, and I wanted more influence. Let's be honest here. You want clout, you want to bang some hoes. It is what it is, right? And from there, I was like, okay, this is great. And then at some point they pulled me in. They're like, hey, listen, your YouTube, you're talking about some crazy stuff. You know what it may be. You're talking about dating and all this other stuff. Oh my God, men and women are not equal and all this other stuff. Things that we know that are factually correct. They took offense to it, right? I'm talking about biological differences and intersexual dynamics, and they didn't like that. So they kind of put me in a position, said, hey, listen, you can resign, or you can, and keep doing your thing, or you can stay here, but you can't do the YouTube thing anymore. So I made a decision. I took a bet on myself, and I left the G. And, I was like, yeah, I could do this, and, I'm going to make more money, whatever, and get more girls. But it evolved way more to that. As you guys know, I'm a hardcore minimalist. I don't own many things in general. I still drive around in my 2002 Honda. So it started for money and girls. I'm not going to lie to y'all. But then as I've been doing this more and more and, impacting guys' lives and helping them like realize like, yo, I finally have a bigger brother. You're like a father figure to me. Like, you helped me, get into law enforcement. Or you're the one that told me to like not do drugs. I thought about doing drugs, but I'm not doing them anymore. I'm staying natural instead of doing steroids. I was going to hurt myself, but off of this girl, but I'm not going to do it anymore. You can't really put a price on that. So it started, right? Just like when you go to the gym, you first go to the gym to like get girls and, get jacked and like fuck a bunch of bitches. Then you continue to go and you feel good and you get this certain sense of accomplishment, and it gets way more than just the girl. So for me, I started streaming to make more money, get influence. Then as I started streaming, right, and I left my government job, I thought it was the end of the world. I realized, holy shit, like we have a duty to these guys to help them out, especially in a crazy ass world where the matrix is taking over essentially. And a lot of guys are told to pretty much act like women and it's acceptable. And the reality is you can't act like a woman. It's unacceptable. And if anything, it's going to set you up for failure.
Well said.
Amazing answer.
Yeah.
You got any questions from the chat for us?
Yeah. Oh man, a lot of stuff came in, guys. Sorry, I'm doing a million things at once. And guys, here's the thing. I'm going to kill the Facebook stream right now on Twitch. So come on over to YouTube, and then we're going to kill the YouTube stream coming in very soon as well. And you guys are all going to have to go to Rumble. So I'm going to give you guys a few more minutes to go ahead, but go on over to Rumble, guys. It's rumble.com/Tate Speech, because it's going to be exclusive on Rumble here in a few minutes. But yeah, I can go ahead and pull up one of these questions. Do you want to hit the next one, Andrew, before I pull up the next one?
Let's get the question, because the next one's going to be a long answer.
A long one. Okay,
Does
so
the chat
we got
lying. Who was capping the most?
Yeah,
who's capping the most? And we got almost 20K live on YouTube, and then I think we got another 27K on Rumble. So guys, get ready to switch on over to Rumble here in a little bit.
All-time high.
Yeah, we had a lot of good questions come through, but I didn't want to interrupt the panel. Give me a second here so I can pull a good one up, Andrew.
I got a question for the panel.
Sure.
So, guys on the panel, what is your description of a moneymaker for 2022? Something you can consider, like, you know what? If you're young coming up in life, what can you do to make money right now?
That's a good question. I can answer. Should I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. I think that we live in an attention economy. I think that people who can garner attention are going to be good at making money one way or another. I think we now live in a world where you have spectators and you have people who produce. The world is split in a binary divide between the two. And not everybody is designed to be a producer. Some people are designed to be a spectator. Obviously I am a producer naturally by heart, because I've lived a very diverse life. I have a lot to say, and I consider, it doesn't matter what I consider. People consider my words valuable, obviously. So here I am. But if I was a spectator, let's say, and I didn't feel like I had the confidence or the knowledge or the charisma to sit on a camera and interest people, then I would try my very best to prove myself useful to a creator. And by joining their ecosystem and working alongside them, that's probably the best and easiest way to make money. There's a whole bunch of people out there that have the star factor, but they don't have the systems and the teams around them to truly be successful. So I would come along and say, listen, you can be the showman. I'll be the blood and guts underneath, and we can do very, very well. I